Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Ramanande. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivacharya Astottara Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivacharya Astottara Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki. Namaskar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki, Tulasi Devi Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindi Ki, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru, and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Naranayam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nastaprayasa Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavaduttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed in loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Getting a little hot. Morning, everyone. Please say a prayer for me that I can say something useful and something in glorification of the devotees and of our Lordships, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Before getting into Bhagavatam, it is a special day. It's the last day of Kartik, which is pretty significant. Kartik month, as you all know, has been is a very significant month, and really, it's like trying to put a little bit extra forth, during the whole month, trying to do a little bit extra for Krishna, Radha and Krishna. And I know a lot of people may have taken vows for the month or vrats, and hopefully everyone was successful with those. I know from my experience I wasn't so successful, but I can say that other service was involved in not completing that. But service, service is service. The whole point I wanted to make is that, we're trying to put forth extra this month, and, today is the last day, but really, we should try and keep that enthusiasm going, and that was the point I wanted to make, just to keep it going, keep making vows, and try to keep progressing in your Krishna consciousness, and Krishna will reciprocate. And it's also Sri Krishna Rasa Yatra, which is a celebration of Krishna's rasa dance with the gopis and Radha. And that is also a glorious celebration. I didn't study so much on the rasa dance. I thought to maybe, if there is time, to go and read some of the introduction from Krishna book about the rasa dance. But also, this is also a demonstration of Krishna's reciprocation with his devotees, his loving reciprocation with his devotees. And the next chapter in Bhagavatam, I think is called Krishna pleases his devotees, Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. So the whole Bhagavatam basically is Krishna reciprocating with his devotees. And the Rasa Leela is like the pinnacle example of that. So I thought that might be a nice segue into this chapter where Krishna is pleasing all his devotees. So I'd start with a chapter summary. In this chapter, Lord Sri Krishna first visits Trivakra, also known as Kubja, and enjoys with her, and then he visits Akrura. The Lord sends Akrura to Hastinapur to satisfy the Pandavas. After Uddhava had related to Sri Krishna the news of Raj, the Lord went to the home of Trivakra, which was decorated with diverse ornamentation conducive to sexual enjoyment. Trivakra welcomed Krishna with great respect giving him a raised seat, and together with her female companions, worshiping him. She also offered Uddhava a seat, as befitted his position, but Uddhava simply touched the seat and sat on the floor. Lord Krishna then reclined on an opulent bed as the maidservant Trivakra elaborately washed and decorated herself. Then she approached him. Krishna invited Trivakra to the bed and began to enjoy with her in various ways. By embracing Lord Krishna, Trivakra freed herself of the torment of lust. She asked Krishna to remain with her for some time, and the considerate Lord promised to fulfill her request in due course. He then returned with Uddhava to his residence. Apart from offering sandal paste to Krishna, Trivakra had never performed any pious acts, yet simply on the strength of the piety of this single act, she attained the rare personal association of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna next went to Akrura's house with Lord Baladev and Uddhava. Akrura honored the three of them by bowing down and presenting them with suitable sitting places. Then he worshipped Rama and Krishna, washed their feet, and poured the water on his head. Akrura also offered them many prayers. Lord Krishna was pleased with Akrura's prayers. He told him that since he, Akrura, was in fact their paternal uncle, Krishna and Balaram should be the recipients of his protection and mercy. Lord Krishna then praised Akrura as a saint and purifier of the sinful, and he asked him to visit Hastinapur to find out how the Pandavas, deprived of their father, were faring. Finally, the Lord returned home, taking Balaram and Uddhava with him. I guess I'll just go into the first verse then. Shri Shuka Uvacha Atavikaya Bhagavan Sarvatma Sarvadarshana Sarandraya Kamataptaya Priyamicham Griham Yayao Sri Shukuvacha Atavignaya Bhagavan Sarvatma Sarvadarshanaha Sarindra Kamataptaya Priyamichan Griham Yayao Sri Shukuvacha Atavigyaya Bhagavan Sarvatma Sarvadarshana Sarandraya Kamataptaya Priyamichan Griham Yayao Sri Shukuvacha Sri Shukuvacha Shukuvacha Sri Shuku Vacha, Sri Shukadev Goswami said, Ata, then, Vigyaya, understanding, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Sarva, of all, Atma, the soul, Sarva, of everything, Darshana, the seer, Sairandriya, of the serving girl, Trivakra, Kama, by lust, Taptaya, troubled, Priyam, the satisfaction, Ichan, wanting, Griham, to her house, Yayao, he went. Translation. Shukadev Goswami said, next, after assimilating Uddhava's report, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the omniscient soul of all that be, desired to satisfy the serving girl, Trivakra, who was troubled by lust. Thus he went to her house. Please repeat. Sukadev Goswami said, next, after assimilating Uddhava's report, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the omniscient soul of all that be, desired to satisfy the serving girl Trivakra, who was troubled by lust. Thus he went to her house. Purport by the servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This text gives an interesting insight into the Lord's pastimes. The first line says, Ata Vingyaya Bhagavan. Thus the Lord, understanding Uddhava's report. The second line states that Lord Krishna is the soul of everything, Sarvatma, and the seer of everything, Sarvadarshana. In other words, although he certainly does not depend on spoken reports from messengers, he plays the part of a human being and listens to news from a messenger, not out of need as we would do, but in the bliss of his spiritual pastimes, exchanging love with his pure devotee. The word Sarvadarshana also indicates that the Lord perfectly understood the feelings of the residents of Raja and was perfectly reciprocating with them within their hearts. Now in his external pastimes, he desired to bless Srimati Trivakra, who was about to be freed from the disease of material lust. Om Jnana Timrandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakantitam Sacha. Hey Krishna, Korana Sindhu Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'm just going to go back and read the tikas. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, in this chapter, Krishna goes to Kubja's house to enjoy with her, and goes to Akrura's house, and after being praised by him, sends him to Hastinapur. Knowing all that Uddhava has told him, Vijnana, and having already solved the problem, the Supreme Lord Bhagavan, who with supreme powers, though situated in Mathura, in another form went to Vraja, and thus fulfilled all the desires of the people of Vraj, because he was the best friend, Sarvatma, and who then let Uddhava see his expansion in two forms to relieve Uddhava of anxiety, Sarvadarshana. Then went to the house of Kubja, along with Uddhava, to fulfill his promise to her. Jiva Goswami writes, O Uddhava, I cannot reject Kubja. To show that he cannot reject the people of Raj, if he cannot reject Kubja, he went to her house. I offer respects to Kubja, whom Krishna visited with thoughts of giving her mercy and enjoyed without restrictions. After Uddhava returned, after many days, Krishna realized with details from Uddhava how his father and others in Vraja had been somewhat pacified. One day he went to the house of Kubja, who was burning with desire for her own enjoyment. Was Krishna full of desire also? No, he was not. He desired to please her. He considered, she offered cosmetics to please me, thus I must please her to be free of debt. How did he know her desires, and why did he desire to fulfill them? He should do this since he gives benefit to all the souls, gives benefit to the souls of all beings. Because he sees everything, he knew her desires. And Sanatana Goswami writes, I offer respects to Kubja, whom Krishna, dear to the city women, controlled by her bhava, enjoyed with her. Though the people of Raja were pacified internally, they were not. Remembering his promise to Kubja, or understanding that she was full of desire, and since he was Antaryami, the soul of all, and sees everything, Sarvadarshana, he went to her house. She was pained with the desire for pleasure with him, Kama Taptaya. For all that time she arranged her house and remained waiting for him. He desired to please her, Pritam Ichan, because he was merciful to the miserable, Bhagavan. So this is a new chapter where Krishna is pleasing his devotees, reciprocating with his devotees. And his first visit, his first order of business is to visit Kubja and to repay her. And Kubja, for those who aren't familiar, although most of you might be, is a few chapters back in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the breaking of the sacrificial bow, I think. And Kubja, for lack of a better word, is a society girl, or a prostitute, I guess. But she's also crooked. It says she's bent in 3 places. That's why she's Trivakra, I think. So I thought I would read from Krishna book about that pastime and why Krishna is going back to please her and satisfy her. And also it goes to show that Krishna is dear to his devotees. He wants to repay his devotees. And also with the Rasa Leela, it's a similar thing where he's trying to repay his devotees. He's trying to reciprocate, having loving pastimes with his devotees, because that's what he desires ultimately. I actually brought the book with me. Sorry. So this is from the Krishna book, The Breaking of the Bow in the Sacrificial Arena. After leaving the florist's place, Krishna and Balaram saw a hunchbacked young woman carrying a dish of sandalwood pulp through the streets. Since Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, he wanted to make all his companions joyous by cutting a joke with the hunchbacked woman. Krishna addressed her, "O tall young woman, who are you? Tell me, for whom are you carrying the sandalwood pulp in your hand? I think you should offer the sandalwood pulp to me, and if you do so, I am sure you will be fortunate." Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he knew everything about the hunchback. By his inquiry, he indicated that there was no use in serving a demon. One had better serve Krishna and Balaram and get rid of the result of sins. The woman replied to Krishna, "My dear Shyamasundar, dear beautiful dark boy, you may know that I am engaged as a maidservant of Kamsa. I am supplying him pulp of sandalwood daily. The king is very pleased with me for supplying this nice thing, but now I see that there is no one who can better be served by this pulp of sandalwood than you two brothers." Being captivated by the beautiful features of Krishna and Balaram, their talking, their smiling, their glancing, and other activities, the hunchbacked woman began to smear the pulp of sandalwood all over their bodies with great satisfaction and devotion. The two transcendental beggars, Krishna and Balaram, were naturally beautiful and had beautiful complexions, and they were nicely dressed in colorful garments. The upper portions of their bodies were already very attractive, and when the hunchbacked woman smeared their bodies with sandalwood pulp, they looked even more beautiful. Krishna was very pleased by this service, and he began to consider how to reward her. In other words, in order to draw the attention of the Lord, the Krishna-conscious devotee has to serve him in great love and devotion. Krishna cannot be pleased by any action other than the transcendental loving service unto him. And that, I'm just going to read that again because that's the important part for us. In other words, in order to draw the attention of the Lord, the Krishna-conscious devotee has to serve him in great love and devotion. Krishna cannot be pleased by any action other than transcendental loving service unto him. Thinking like this, Lord Krishna pressed the feet of the hunchbacked woman with his toes, and capturing her cheeks with his fingers, gave her a jerk in order to make her straight. At once the hunchbacked woman looked like a beautiful, straight girl, with broad hips, thin waist, and very nice, well-shaped breasts. Since Krishna was pleased with the service of the hunchbacked woman, and since she was touched by Krishna's hands, she became the most beautiful girl among women. This incident shows that by serving Krishna, the devotee immediately becomes elevated to the most exalted position. In all respects, devotional service is so potent that anyone who takes to it becomes qualified with all godly qualities. Krishna was attracted to the hunchbacked woman not for her beauty, but for her service. As soon as she rendered service, she immediately became the most beautiful woman. A Krishna-conscious person does not have to be qualified or beautiful. After becoming Krishna-conscious and rendering service unto Krishna, he becomes very qualified and beautiful. I love that. I love it. Just that you can see this practically too. When Krishna touches you or touches your heart, there's you can see it in devotees and in advanced devotees, enthusiastic devotees. There's a glow to them. There's a energy to them. It almost radiates, you know. I'm sure everyone has had some sort of experience with that. And just when I was getting ready this morning, I was thinking about, it kind of ties into it, like Prabhupada was just so effulgent and he was so full of Krishna that he was, he was just beautiful. Even though he's just an little old Indian man, which may not be beautiful to people in the West, but, his purity, his devotion, his love for Krishna shone through, and everybody could see that. So one time I was doing boga buying, one of my favorite pastimes in San Diego, and it might have been a restaurant depot. If If anyone knows me, knows how much I despise Restaurant Depot. But anyways, I don't know if I was in Kurti and, Kurta and Dodi, Kurti. But also we had a van at the temple that it was wrapped in a big advertisement for the Sunday feast. And it had the mantra on it. It had a big picture of Krishna. It was purple and yellow and stuff. Anyways, this one woman, this older Jamaican woman, must have saw me come out of the van or knew it was a Hare Krishna, however it happened. And then she just came up to me and just opened up about some time she saw Prabhupada in San Diego. It might have been at Balboa Park or something. And she just, I can't remember the exact thing she said because it was so many years ago, but the point is she was blown away by Prabhupada, just like the beauty, his effulgence, his energy, and she was so moved that she still remembered it, whatever it was, 30, 40, 50 years later, and felt impelled to tell me about it, that it actually moved her. So Krishna, devotional service has that power, and that's the point. It's just a little bit, even a little bit of devotional service Krishna can't forget, and he wants to repay. And Kubja didn't even think about it, just like the gopis are not thinking about it. She's just like, oh my God, these beautiful boys, Krishna and Balaram. How, what can I do let me offer them my ointments and unguents, I just want to use that word, to please them, how can I please you? And Krishna is so moved that in this new chapter, he's making it a point to go back and try to reciprocate with her. And we will see that, she has a lot of devotion, but she also has a little bit of lust in her heart because of who she is and maybe because of her profession. And as we see, by being with Krishna and by touching Krishna, it's going to eradicate those desires and give her pure love of God. And then, in this, it's saying it made her beautiful by standing her up straight, but she was already beautiful. And just by Krishna's touch, because he knew that she had a little bit of devotion, just by that touch, she was beautiful. It's not even about the physical attributes. You could have no limbs and still be Krishna conscious and beautiful and just radiate all this. And then also, I just wanted to just read from Krishna book about, again, I brought Krishna book with me and I'm looking at the phone. Just where we are in this, where we're starting in this chapter, and Prabhupada explains a little bit better of what I'm trying to say. For days together, Krishna heard from Uddhava all the details of his visit to Vrindavan, of the condition of his father and mother, and of the gopis and the cowherd boys. Lord Krishna was fully satisfied that Uddhava was able to solace them by his instruction and by the message delivered to them. Lord Krishna then decided to go to the house of Kubja, the hunchback woman, who had pleased him by offering him sandalwood when he was entering the city of Mathura. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna always tries to please his devotees, and the devotees try to please Krishna. As the devotees always think of Krishna within their hearts, so Krishna always thinks of his devotees within himself. And that's very touching. When Kubja was converted into a beautiful society girl, she wanted Krishna to come to her place so that she could try to receive and worship him in her own way. Society girls generally try to satisfy their clients by offering their bodies to the men to enjoy. But this society girl, Kubja, was actually captivated by a lust to satisfy her senses with Krishna. When Krishna desired to go to the house of Kubja, he certainly had no desire for sense gratification. By supplying the sandalwood pulp to Krishna, Kubja had already satisfied his senses. On the plea of her sense gratification, he decided to go to her house, not actually for sense gratification, but to turn her into a pure devotee. Krishna is always served by many thousands of goddesses of fortune. Therefore, he has no need to satisfy his senses by going to a society girl. But as he is kind to everyone, he decided to go there. It is said that the moon does not withhold its shining from the courtyard of a crooked person. Similarly, Krishna's transcendental mercy is never denied to anyone, whether one has rendered service unto him through lust, anger, fear, or pure love. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is also stated that if one wants to serve Krishna and at the same time wants to satisfy his own lusty desires, Krishna will handle it so that the devotee forgets his lusty desire, becomes fully purified, and constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. So just in summary, Jesus, just encourage everyone on this last day of Kartik, just get even more enthusiastic, just offer even more service to Radha and Krishna, to the deities here, to your home deities. Just make a little more extra effort, and the benefits will be great. You can just see from the example of Kubja, just a little bit can go a long way. What to speak of fully diving in, fully surrendering, and giving yourself fully, surrendering your whole heart to Krishna. It says that, for the pure devotee, we're in Krishna's heart. I mean, that's mind-blowing. And just as mind-blowing is that Krishna is within our hearts. Did anybody have any questions? Okay. Okay. Mm. Mm.
So she went back, and then she got back. She tried to kill Sita Devi, and then Lakshmana cut off her nose ears.
Is she in Chaitanya Leela too? Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Kartik Vrat Ki.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Namaham bhajami. Angani asa sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham bhajami. 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 Govindam Adi Purusham.
We're done. Okay, so, yeah. Nam Ishwaram Sachet Anandarupam Nasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Yasodameo Luka Lanam Aram Vishtamat Yan Tato Drucha Gopya. Rudantamohuleta Yugmam Rishanam Karombo Jikchugmena Satankanetram. Mushashakam Patre Rekankakanta Sita Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Badam. Iti Drixari Labir Ananda Kunege Swakushamlin Majantam Akyapayantam. Nare Sita Getsu Bhakta Dita Tvam Bunakre Matastam Shatavati Vande.
Varamdeva Mokshamna Mokshavatim Vaga Nachanyam Pranayam Varishad Apiha Edam Deva Purnata Gopala Bala Sadame Manasya Virastam Kimanyay Idam te mukambojam achantanila Ritam guntalai snigja rataisya gopya Uschambitam bimba Raktadaram meki Manasya virasta Alam lakshalabai Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukkha Jalabli Magnam Kripa Drishti Vishtati Dinambatanu Grahaneshamamadyame Yakshidrisha Guveratma Jomada Mutyaiva Yadvat Twaya Mochita Vakti Vajakrita Oja Tata Prema Bhaktim Sva Kame Prayaja Namokshe Graho Mesti Damodareha Namaste Stu Damne Spuradipti Damne Twadyo Torayata Vishwasya Damne Namo Radhe Gayatva Diyapriyaya Namo Nantadlilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namam Charam Sachit Anandurupam Lasat Kunalam Gokule Brajamanam. Yasoda me oluka ladavamana param vishnama janta goto druchakopya. Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Radha. Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Radha. Jaya Radha, Golokanana Radha, Golokanana Radha. Jaya Radha, Jaya Radha, Radha, Radha. Jaya Radha, hey Jaya Radha, Jaya Radha, Jaya Radha. Jaya Radha, Jaya Sri Radha. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravatikacharya, also Teta Satashi Shimad, His Divine Grace Sabaya Chadanand Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Ganadha Shiva Siddhi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Maturadam Ki Jai Jagadava Swami Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Shrimati Lasi Devi Ki Jai Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nivasesa Nirvati Paschachate Shatarni. To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful, and his breathing quick, and his mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes. He shivered in fright, and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, who was bound by his devotees' love, I offer my humble obeisances. Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who were attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayan and Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you were able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart. O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy upon me, uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision. O Lord Damodar, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva, Nalakuvara, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence. O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited